Jazmine, but y'all can call me Alice. I am 24 years old and I'm a mother of two. And today I'm going to show you guys how to make a clean, classic loaf of bread. So all you're going to need is some organic wheat flour, some yeast, some warm water, some sunflower oil, some cane sugar, and some sea salt. So I already started off with my yeast mix. My yeast mix has been sitting for roughly an hour. I'm not going to lie. I did not put a lot of yeast in for a tippet. The more yeast you use, it typically grows faster, and the less yeast you use, it will grow, but it won't grow as fast as you think. A lot of the yeast packages or the jars or anything will recommend you let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes, and sometimes it does not grow in 5 to 10 minutes. It does not mean that you messed up. It just means to give you more time. So I've already started with my mix, and I started with 2 cups of organic wheat flour. So the way I learned the baking, I already got 2 cups of flour. You need 3/4 cups of warm water regardless. You use 3 tablespoons of sunflower oil. You don't have to, but I do. And just use some sea salt. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix my sea salt in, and I noticed I did not grab a spoon. And you don't even have to add so much. Let me go get a spoon because I need something to mix this stuff with. Okay, got my spoon. I'm gonna mix the sea salt in with the organic flour. Nothing too crazy at all. I am going to add another tablespoon of sugar. In my yeast mix with the 3/4 cups of warm water, I already added 1 tablespoon of cane sugar. Now you do not have to add more sugar into your mix, but I am going to. So I'm not even gonna do a full tablespoon. The thought of adding a lot of sugar sometimes makes me feel like my cavity's gonna shake, but this is bread. And I also am going to be making other videos of different flavors, but I just wanted to start off with the classic loaf so everybody will know it does not take a lot to do a little. So after I mix in my cane sugar and my sea salt, I'm gonna go ahead and pour in my yeast mix. It'll be looking something like that. It's not supposed to be, look, it's supposed to look like this. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of oil, maybe 2.5. I normally would add butter, but like I said, I do want to show different styles of bread, so I'm just going to keep it classic on this one, and I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of sunflower oil instead of 2. And then I'm just going to simply mix all that together as if I'm just like the mixers. I'm just going to mix it. That has actually helped me a lot. I used to mix it and all the flour wasn't clumped together, and I'm thinking I needed to do something extra, and then I realized no, I just need to keep mixing and let the flour and the dough organically mix in together, because it will organically mix in together. So after it do that mix, I push it down to try to test how soft, mushy, or stretchy the flour is. Well, I'm gonna call it flour because it's not flour anymore since we mixed it with the yeast. The dough. I press down into the dough to see how soft it'll be, if it's rough or thick or anything. I already checked the consistency with the spoon before I even get in to kneading the dough. I'm using a plastic bag because I don't like a mess. In a plastic bag, I can put the flour on top of there, go ahead and press it in, and I don't have to worry about a mess being everywhere that I have to literally wipe up off, which is nothing wrong if you want to take this stuff and clean it all off. I just don't. And besides, if you have not noticed the type of table that I am using, I'm not really too comfortable with just putting flour on it. And although I did disinfect the table before I even came over here. Found the dollar. Hey, that is a good sign. I bust the bag open making a classic loaf of bread that I've been planning to do for a month now, and I find money in it. I'm seeing the signs, but let me do it. So I had brought over some extra flour. This is 3 1/4 cup full of flour. I'm probably not gonna use all this at all, but I am going to sprinkle some flour on my bag. The flour keeps the dough from sticking. Adding the extra flour keeps the dough from sticking while also helping you knead the results. So that was a nice fall. That was a really nice fall. And I'm not gonna lie, this is my favorite part. This specifically has became my favorite part. So I started baking like I want to say what is this? It's gonna be May. So I might have started in April, maybe March, maybe end of February. I just know I just started baking. I seem to catch on to a lot of things extremely fast. So with me baking and seeing how easy, and when I say easy, I truly mean easy. I started by watching a lot of different people videos and seeing what they did and what they do. The majority of a lot of people use machines, and there ain't nothing wrong with machines, but even I sometimes realize that when you do try to handicap yourself by always just using machines, you're losing time. You really do lose time wanting to use a machine instead of just using your hand for things that's so simple. Like a lot of folks, when they be kneading, they'll give the instructions of knead for 5 or 10 minutes, or do. And I'm not gonna lie, listening to those instructions starting off definitely helped me grasp my understanding of baking to the point where now I don't calculate the time of kneading. I just keep going until I feel like that the dough has reached what it is I want it to reach. And since I know this is bread and this is fin to poof, the poofing is the yeast expanding within your dough. So kneading it helps you mix everything in properly. So when the yeast do start to foam, it's not really much to it. But we just gonna keep on kneading. Keep on kneading. And what's expired? I can't even get the words out. What inspired me to even make these videos was because I'm going to donate bread. I made the bread. I like baking. I like how easy it is. I like the poofing part. And it just made me want to donate bread. So I was like, you know what? What can I do with the donation of bread that would help people not only build trust, but also kind of put an experience with it? And I was like, make the bread video. The bread that you are donating, it would help people to be able to look up the specific bread that they can eat. So you can literally watch me make the type of bread that you're gonna eat. So like this is the classic loaf of bread. I'm sorry guys. Give me some time. See, it's my first video. So my dough is about ready, and how I know that is because as I'm pressing down into it, I always crack my knuckles when I do this part. I be like that part. You make me feel like I'm really doing something. So when I press down into it, I'm testing to see how sticky the inside of the dough is as I'm going down into it. And this dough is really good. I can definitely tell that the proportions of the dough is perfect, and I really, really mean perfect. Sometimes when my flour is too low of proportion compared to everything else, it'll be a little bit more like, it'll sit in my hand and it'll just dissolve. Not that that's a bad thing, because when the dough do that, I've realized with cinnamon rolls, they're the softest. They really, they are the softest. Expect the videos for cinnamon rolls soon. I don't know how soon, but soon. But yeah, I'm not gonna need this too much. I'm gonna leave this as this. This is perfect. Yeah, this. This is perfect. I'm gonna use this same container that I used to mix it. Look at that piece of, I could have put that in my stuff. I'm not even gonna try to. I really want to, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna use this bowl that I had used to mix the dough, and I'm gonna put just a little bit of sunflower oil, and I'm gonna mix that sunflower oil around, and then I'm gonna put this dough in there. I'm gonna spin it so the dough can get that oil on it. And I'm gonna let that sit. How long this is gonna sit? I'm gonna let this poof for I know for a minimum of an hour. I will come back and check on it in probably 30 minutes to ensure that it is poofing and rising. At the 30-minute mark, depending on just how much it is grown, it'll let me know how much proofing I could expect if I let it sit longer. Now, I do know after, baking a few times, the longer you let it sit, I feel like it might throw off the softness consistency if it does sit extremely too long. But don't hold me to that because I'm not sure yet. I'm going to test that theory out too. So I'm going to cover this up with a napkin. I'm going to cover this up with a plastic bag, and then I'm going to let this sit, and then we're going to come back and see what it's like. Okay, so it has been roughly an hour and 15 minutes, if not a little bit over more. My dough ain't poof big. Let me get up so y'all can see it more accurately. But it poofed enough. It's a lot bigger than what it was, and then gonna push that in. So I'm finna roll this out into a triangle. That is the best method that I see a lot of people do for the bread, and I kind of see why, because that rolled up layer, the way it's gonna poof and everything, it's really magical. And when I get that proper terminology for that, I'm going to happily share it. I'm going to take my dough out of my bowl. Like, it is very soft. Like, that is soft. That is soft. I like that. I really like that. But I'm going to press it out first. I'm gonna press it out first. I'm gonna flip it too. Okay, let me see. This is a dough roller that my little pumpkin or whatever had got on. No, he didn't get it on anything. He got it off the Facebook Market. Put flour on it first. We're gonna put the flour. This is a lot harder than I thought. And you do not have to do this perfectly. As you can see, I should be the example of this is not perfect. But I bet you my breads, they come out soft. I bet you my bread tastes good. I bet you I ain't have to do and add all that extra ass shit just to get the same flavor. Now I ain't gonna lie. I cannot wait till I make me some more honey butter bread, because I ain't gonna say that it make a difference. We're gonna take the journey together. So after pressing it out into a triangle and everything, just roll it. Literally, just roll it. I don't know if I want to go from this way or that way. I'm gonna go this way. You literally just want to roll it. That is it. You're going to roll it. And you should come out with a log, basically. And then a lot of people recommend you pinch the ends and tuck it. So that's exactly what I do. I pinch the ends and tuck it. It does not make a difference for the bread when you get ready and put it in the glass bowl. Sorry for stuttering. Shouldn't really be sorry for that. No, I'm not thinking. Oil this with sunflower oil first. Oil your pan with sunflower oil so when it bakes up in there, it doesn't get stuck in the container that it's in. It'll easily grip on out. And you do not have to pour sunflower oil in here like you got to deep bake the dish. Don't do that. Take just a little bit and wipe it on the coated glass, because this is already glass, and glass is a great thing to bake in. You don't have to worry about the non-stick, the stainless, and okay, so you just gonna use just a little bit of sunflower oil. You don't have to use a lot. You literally just use a little bit. Let it kind of soak into the napkin and just wipe it on in there. And you don't have to be a lot. Make sure that it's all coated. And I'm just gonna add just a little bit more. Just a little bit. Let it absorb up in there. And I'm gonna wipe over it one more time. I'm gonna place my log in here. And we're gonna let it poof again. We're gonna let this bad boy poof. One more good time. So I'm gonna let this cool for another 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna bake it. I already had put the oven on 350. That's what temperature I'm gonna bake the bread on. And how long I'm gonna leave it in there, I am not totally sure. But we're gonna find out together, and I'm gonna clock the time to see what time I take it out. Okay, so the bread is poofed. It's not as big as I thought it would be, but it's still poofed. I'm not gonna lie, the bread smells amazing. Like, it literally just smells like bread. So imagine what it's gonna smell like when it's done cooking. Mm-hmm.